What's good, team? Evan here for grips.com, continuing with part 3 of my revelations from the Universal Championship of Poker series. Today's revelation is one that I got from the good old OLG, and that is know your limit and play within it. If you guys have frequented casinos, you've probably seen signs that have this expression on it before. And what they're referring to with the know your limit, play within it saying is that you want to know how much you can afford to lose gambling and to stay within that limit. But I personally think that this saying, this slogan, could be carried over to a couple of other areas as well. I think it's important to physically know our limit and play within it, and mentally to know our limits and play within those. In the case of financially, if we play outside our limits, we're likely to end up broke. In the realm of physicality, if we play outside our limits, we're likely to end up broken down and tired and fatigued. And mentally, if we play outside our limit, we're likely to end up burnt out and cranky, and a whole slew of other bad things can come from that. So in the Universal Championship of Poker, I experienced this playing outside my limit a little bit, in that after the 8-day series, I needed 3 full days of recovery, and then I needed a few half days of recovery as well after that. And for it to have been a little more sustainable, I think if I'd done, 5 days on, 2 days off, that would have worked, or 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off, repeat. That probably would have been a sustainable model that was more within my emotional, mental, and physical limits. But one of the benefits of pushing myself to the edge is that's where the growth happens. We as people don't experience growth when we just stay within our comfort zone and stay within a safe zone. We experience growth when we go to the edge. And much like working out at the gym, you experience growth because you stimulate and you challenge your body and your muscle system. But then the actual growth that comes from that stimulation happens when you are resting and recovering. And the same is true mentally with your limits, is that you want to go visit the edge, and you want to push yourself to the edge and see what you're capable of, and then you want to just chill out, recover, and allow the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in and restore and replenish your system, being prepared to then visit that edge again. The problem with staying at the edge too long is that you're almost certain to fall off, and then you got to go through the whole process of getting back on, which leads to a lot of lost momentum. When we're really pushing ourselves, we can think that we're capable of a lot more than we really are, because the adrenaline kicks in, and the adrenaline rush pushes us and carries us through these tough times. But eventually the crash will happen when the adrenaline runs out, and again, that's when you're going to crash and burn. And if you're someone who has a habit of, reaching for stimulants or sugars or other things to keep you going and to prolong that adrenaline rush and keep the burnout from happening, know that the crash and burn is just going to be even more pronounced when it eventually does kick in, and there's no running away from it. Eventually, if you've been working outside your limits, you are going to feel the need to recover. Eventually, the system is going to kick in and say, listen, buddy, it's time to slow down. And if you aren't going to listen to our advice about slowing down, we're going to make you realize it and force you to slow down. So that is the pain teacher, as one of my mentors, Paul Check, likes to talk about. So the big key that I realized from working at the edge and maybe going a bit beyond the edge or staying at the edge for a little bit too long is that rest is essential. And that's something that I'm going to talk about in a future video in this series. But the bigger key that I realized is that if you can actually identify, what your limit is and make a plan that sees you working within that limit, then you don't have to worry about pushing yourself over the edge, because it's just going to be a non-consideration. You're working within a comfortable zone. That's one that you can see growth and development in, and slowly you can work your way to a higher zone and a higher reach. And you won't have to worry about burnout or breaking down or going broke, which are 3 of the things that we really fear and don't want to have to deal with. And the solution to avoiding them, very simple. So with that in mind, today's exercise is to write down in the comments section what it is that you do that has you pushing yourself beyond your limits and working a little bit too hard. What is your bad habit that is really limiting you and keeping you from being realistic with yourself? I know that my bad habits are staying up too late, working, not being willing to push the off button per se, and also comparing myself to other people who are in completely different circumstances, wondering why I'm not where they are, and deciding if they have what I want, then I'm going to try to get what they have within like a day or two, and eventually, I just burn out very quickly because I'm pushing myself way too hard. So post in the comments section what your bad habit is that you intend to stop doing so that you can have a healthier relationship with yourself. And then in a week, please come back and respond to that comment with how you feel after having dropped that bad habit and why you feel that way. And if perhaps any other ones came up that you think you could also take out of the picture to improve that relationship with yourself. And after that, you know what to do. Take what you learned, go out there and get stacking.